Hey, and welcome. We are two moms, two businesswomen, and two friends just trying to keep all the balls in the air without losing our minds.
From school pickups to potty training, messy kitchens, and major wins, we're bringing you real talk on motherhood, entrepreneurship, and all the things we love in between.
So, whether you're folding laundry, driving to work, or sneaking in some you time,
grab your coffee and join us for laughs, lessons, and a whole lot of chaos.
This is the Mother Overload, where real life meets real talk. We are Desi and Krystal. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to the Mother Overload podcast. This is Desi, and I'm here with Krystal. Hey, Krystal.
Hey, guys.
We are here with episode 4, and today we are talking about reclaiming identity. Now, in motherhood, we know that, it's a scary time, and sometimes we feel like our whole world revolves around these little ones, which is key, right? I mean, that's what makes a good mother, but it doesn't have to be everything in life. And I think that motherhood is a journey, but reclaiming your identity is a whole other important journey for us.
I think in the beginning, or even before you have kids, people talk so much about like losing themselves in motherhood, losing who they are, or not knowing, how to get their pink back is like the big thing right now. Um, and yeah, I think that it comes down to just really trying to stay true to who you are but know that you're going to change in motherhood. Like as soon as you have that baby, you're a whole new person. So I think that's where people get lost, and that's where people have to like reclaim their identity, right?
Mhm.
Because their identity changes. You're not the same person. You're really not. You know, you're
Right.
you're caring for a whole new life. Like things are just not even just about you anymore, right? You've completely changed. So I think that that's just the craziest thing about becoming a mother is you're literally becoming a completely new human being.
Right. And along with any journey in life, right? With anything that we go through in life, I mean, change is good, change is growth. Like we try to make it a positive experience as we're relearning how to literally be ourselves. Like I am completely different than who I was before I had kids, and
Yeah,
thank God for that. But I
absolutely.
I genuinely loved who I was. Before I had kids, I always used to think about like I really love who I am as a person. I, had so many great qualities and all these things about myself. And when I look back at 20-year-old me, like, no, no, it wasn't the best version of myself. But
Right.
in that moment, of course, I didn't know any different. And that's what I thought. And I truly believed that about myself. And now, almost 20 years later, I'm like, there's been so many things that I've gone through and that I've learned. And I truly believe now when you ask people like, oh, if you could be any age, like, would you want to be young again? How old would you want to be? And everybody just says like, I would love to have the knowledge that I have now. I wish I knew what I knew now when I was younger, Rod Stewart. but
Right.
but it's like all of these things that you learn along the way, you're learning them for a reason. So, yes, like there's this whole reclaiming our identity as a human being and as a sole person once we have children, because our focus is on those kids for a reason. And I don't think it ever ends. I don't know that you reclaim your identity and then that's it. I feel
Right.
like it's forever ongoing.
Yeah, forever changing, right? We're
Yeah.
always evolving, always. And I mean, I think too, like, I mean, you could probably speak to this in that, like, you change with kids that you have, right? Like, you were always growing and learning and healing and all of those things throughout those three different times in your life when you had to almost like, you feel like you're starting again when you
Yeah.
have a newborn, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah, I think one benefit for me in going back to work right away is like I went back to work at 6 weeks, and I think I was able to just kind of like focus on something that I knew, something that I already love, and something that I feel like it kind of like grounded me. I feel like that sounds weird, but it really did kind of pull me out a little bit of those like newborn deaths, I guess you would
Yeah, like
say.
the rut that people sometimes feel like they're stuck in.
Right. So I
You
feel
were
like I
still
was
able to talk to
lucky.
people.
Yeah, I was lucky in the sense where I could just like kind of step away from that and just kind of remember, the things I used to do and the person that I was. So I think that was really helpful in terms of you know, like postpartum depression or anything like that. Like I feel like because I was doing usual things that I was already used to, it was easy. It was an easier transition for me.
And you had good support, right?
Absolutely. And that,
That's huge.
obviously I could never have done what I did without that support. Oh my God. Like, and I know a lot of people don't have that. And I think that that's where, you really do get lost and you struggle to find that new identity and that new, you know, person that you're going to be in 20 years. Right.
Right. And I'm very grateful. I don't know that I ever really truly struggle with like a severe postpartum depression. You see people after they've had kids and like in my head I'm like, how can you be sad? You have this beautiful baby, blah blah blah. But like I don't understand the chemicals that happen to your brain after going through something like that. And especially if you're somebody going into this experience thinking, I expect for my partner to be able to be like that equal and that person that that can support me and I can depend on. And when I'm exhausted and they're going to pick up that balance. If you go in with all these expectations of this person that you believe they're going to be, and you have this child and they're nowhere to be seen, or they're scared and doing their own thing, and there's so many different things that people go through. Everybody's so completely different. We all react completely different to different situations. And it's like, you see a friend that's had a baby and you're looking at them and you're like, I know there's something going on. I know they're different. They're not going to talk about it with me because they don't want to feel like they're, you know, the odd one out, or they're, awful for feeling this way, especially when you have other people, oh, why aren't you happy? You have this beautiful baby. And then when you have people like that around you constantly criticizing your thoughts and your feelings instead of giving you that space to just be,
Right.
then
That's
then you feel like you're going crazy in your own head,
right.
right?
And I think too, like that is what makes it so isolating is it's a new experience for you. You don't know how to go through it. As much as there's lots of learning out there about motherhood, there's no guidebook
Mm-mm.
for what's going to happen with your own hormones and your own baby and your own feelings around everything changing in literally an instant that, people really do get lost in that. And I think we've come a long way in speaking
Mm-hmm.
about, finding your identity and postpartum depression and all of those things that come with motherhood that never really got spoken about before. Um, and there's still different parallels to it. Like people still talk about, find your village, and then you'll see people and they're like, where's this village that people are talking about? It's not here. I can't find it. So like there's
Yeah.
still those two very different things. You're going to have people who are fully supported, and then there's going to be people who aren't and they feel alone. And, those are the people who struggle to find their, you know, new identity, new purpose, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah. I definitely feel like I was one of those people who I feel like I did it alone. I mean, I had people around that had kids. I never really had like that the friend, the person, I think we were talking about this before. Like Corey is my best friend and I'm grateful and I have a good partner now. But whenever whenever I first started having children, I had zero expectation going in. I watched good friends of ours at the time go through the baby stages first before us. They were like, our test parents, our test child. And I watched her have so many expectations of this person who just kept letting her down.
Right.
And I was like, I have zero expectations. Whatever he does is great. Like, so I put that pressure on myself to make sure that I was doing it alone,
Right.
which was even sillier now that I look back
Yeah.
at it. But I didn't, but I just, I think it comes a lot with like my upbringing and who I was raised to be. And like, I was as a child of survival. So a lot of the things that I went through, I feel like I can do anything and very much like that mindset anyways.
Right.
Even to
Do
this
you
day,
think,
having a good partner, I still like I make sure that he's aware that like I love you and I'm so grateful that I have you, but I just need you to understand that I don't need you. Like I'm grateful that I have you, but if God forbid you decide that you no longer want this relationship anymore, I will be okay. They will not suffer because you decided that you didn't want this.
right.
And I don't know if that makes him remind me more that he likes to be here, but it's good.
Probably a little bit. Do you think that you like it's so interesting to think about like, well, what if you had kids right now?
It'd be completely different.
Completely different. Yeah,
Completely.
you think
Because if
so.
I knew the things, right? If I knew the things that I know upon my healing journey and everything else, it would
Right.
just be so different. And I feel like, I probably would have put myself out there more to be around people more. And who knows, I probably would have been a huge social media mom. I would have been one of those people like, let's record my whole journey of everything at all times and make the videos because I love I love doing the social media stuff. I'm just not very good at it. I did beauty social media for so long because it was just about me. That was
Yeah.
part of me reclaiming my stuff for
Yes.
myself, right? That was my me thing. And I don't like my kids on the internet. That's just a whole other conversation for a whole other podcast episode.
Right.
But um yeah, so I feel like there's so much more information out there. I love TikTok for the fact that we have so many real people. You have to weave through who's real and who's not for sure. But there's so many real people out there sharing their stories. And I think that even helped me like start my healing journey. Knowing that there's people out there sharing their stuff, I was like, if they can do it, I'm going to share my stuff. And maybe that'll help other people to start doing their own healing. And that was like a huge thing for me in figuring out who I am and who I want to be in this world and what I can give in this area of life. And yeah, I feel like my kids are better for it. Um, but I had to do the stuff for me.
Yeah. No,
And Corey would have been way different if I had done all my healing first as well. And he's a
of
completely
course.
different partner after I've done all of my own work. Um, I have these dreams sometimes, and I'm big on like dream interpretations. And I had a dream the other night, and I was like looking up the meaning, and I go, huh, maybe this is me having to like help him. He doesn't think he has stuff to heal through because a lot of people don't until you start kind of digging into their stuff. And then you're like, oh, okay, you do have some sort of neglect. You do have some sort of resentment towards this person. You do have like certain things in your life that you've never dealt with. And
Right.
especially with me doing the somatic side of life, it's like you just got to do it. You just got to like dig a little bit deeper as much as it hurts, as much as it's hard to release whatever is going on within your body. But
Right.
again, whole nother whole nother topic.
Whole other topic. No, I honestly, it's interesting to hear you talk about how like you think things would be different because I actually think like the opposite way because I waited till later in life to have kids and I often think back about, oh my God, things would have been so wild, so crazy. Obviously it would have been a different partner.
Hmm.
And that would have just been not a vibe.
That's that divine timing.
Right? So it's interesting, but I do always say to people like I'm so happy that I, you know, didn't have kids really young because not to say you were really young, but
Hmm.
just the fact that like I was able to advocate for myself in motherhood so much more than I've seen a lot of people, friends included, go through. and just, especially if you don't have the support, especially if you just don't know how to trust your instincts just yet. You know, you rely on everybody else to tell you how to mother
Hmm.
when I feel like I was in a place where I was like, well, that's great that you did that, but we're not. So
Yeah,
cool.
I wish that that was, yeah. And it's like we have somebody close to us that just had a baby, and her boundaries were very specific. And, you know, whenever we were having this conversation last week, and I'm like, so the thing is that when I had my first kid, I love my family, I love my in-laws, I love my extended everything. But when I first had my son, there was what they like to do was the baby shower after the baby's born.
Mhm.
And it's first kid, so I had baby showers out the woo-ha that I didn't really need to have at that time, but very lovely, very helpful.
Absolutely.
It was a lot
But
of people
insane.
though. It was a lot
Yeah.
of, yeah, it was a lot of things going on at the same time. So we had baby showers before, and then my in-laws prefer to have the baby shower after the baby's born. And I don't know if that's because people think that it's like not a curse, but like a, contradiction to do it beforehand. Anyways, so brand new mother, already lost, already confused, doesn't know what's going on. But now I'm in a room full of people that are taking my baby from me, walking away from me, um,
Yeah.
trying to, and
Passing him
passing the baby
around.
around, brand new.
Oh, there
And it was, and he's a summer baby. So like everybody's healthier in the summer. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not, sickness season, whatever, like it was with my kid, my other two. But it was very hard. And I remember sitting in the room, my husband wasn't there because it was a baby shower and he had no desire to be there with all the women and the stuff. So it was like I felt alone. I felt anxious as anything, and I just had to like sit there and not lose my shit, because then you look like you hate everybody when you don't. You just have hormones that you don't understand. There's so many things that bring
Yeah.
me back to that time, not realizing until probably this very moment that it was a traumatic event for me
Absolutely.
with my son. And I know a lot of people now, like having babies later on, it's like there's these boundaries where no, I want the first month just us.
Yeah.
There's bonding happening, there's all these things going on. And with my other two, because it was like November babies, people were sick. Nobody
Right.
really came around.
Yeah.
It was like, not to be like, I want my babies all to myself, but also it was nice to be able to have my babies all to myself for a little bit, just to like, you know, have that bonding experience.
Yeah.
And I also, with my first, I couldn't breastfeed. Everything was just a little bit more challenging, I feel like. Um, and I couldn't even try to do it because I feel like people were always around. It was added stress on top of stressful situations. My husband had a friend at the time who, his wife was a busy working mom, and he was at our house every other weekend with his son and drinking and wanted to party. And I have this newborn child who I'm like, it was this crazy balance of things. And like, I always look back on that time and I'm like, I didn't have boundaries. I was a
Right.
huge people pleaser. I just wanted, I wanted Corey to be happy and not think that his friends hate me because I'm this wicked, awful person
Right. Yeah.
having boundaries. Right. And now I'm like, I don't care who likes me as long as I'm happy
This is the line.
and my
Get
kids
on
like
that side
me.
of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Even to Corey most days. Right. I'm like, I love my kids. My kids are good and they, we're having a good life. And I'm like, if you can't get on the ball, then step away. Like, do your
You're done.
thing. I just need like, to everybody in life, like my peace is so important now. And I can say that. I can tattoo it on my body if I need to. Like, I can't say it enough.
I know. I wish that, like, I think I always feel, I think I'm so grateful for having kids when I did that I literally look at anyone who's younger, who isn't setting those boundaries, who is struggling, because you can tell.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, you know, just
Tell them to
all the
fuck
things.
off.
Yeah, like just don't listen to them. It's funny because again, like you said at the very beginning of this podcast, it's like with anything in life, right? Because even in photography, like I'll meet young couples who are ready to get married and, they want to step out of the boundary of, seeing each other at the other ends of the aisle and they want to do that first look. But then I get pushback from them being like, oh, well, I don't know if my mom would like that. It's like, I'm sorry, is your mom getting married? Because it's you guys.
Yeah.
So it's your decisions. So I think those boundaries just start so early, right? Like like you said, like some people are just people pleasers. I want everybody else around me to be happy. And, that goes from everything from relationships, planning a wedding, right into having babies and things like that. And even I feel like I set lots of boundaries with my son. And, if we ever do have another one, those boundaries have changed. Like I
Hmm.
would do things completely differently. Not completely differently, but certain things. Like I wouldn't have a house full of people while I'm upstairs trying to latch a child. Like I
Right.
just wouldn't do that, right? I'd be like, go
100%.
the fuck home. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our
See you
time now.
never. No.
Yeah.
See you in like a month, okay?
Yeah. And they do say that every child that you have gets different set of parents, right? Like even though they're the
Right.
same
And
people, they're raised completely different, each and every one of them, because each one we learn differently and we teach
yeah.
different things
I
and
mean, I definitely see that in my
mhm,
family for sure because
yeah.
like my brother and my sister were all 9 years apart.
Oh wow.
So you think they got different parents? Yeah, they
Yeah.
absolutely did. They absolutely did. The way that my mom did things with me also did things with me in the 80s. The
Yeah.
way she did things with my sister in the like
Yeah.
2000 and whatever, I don't know. But it's so different. You are getting completely different parents. And I think a lot of the times I feel like for you, maybe your kids notice a change because they're fairly close in age, right? So maybe they notice the changes in you
Hmm.
as you go. But I think seriously, for my mom, like the way she parented me compared to the way she parented my sister is like completely different. Like that's not even the same human,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
we're
That's
talking
quite a
18.
lifetime in between. Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So it's really interesting that you grow so much in a short amount of time too,
Hmm.
right? And like to think in 5 years, how are things gonna look? So different again.
So different. And it's the world around us and everything else involved. And like, if we didn't have TikTok, we might not know half the things we know now also. Like there's just
Absolutely.
so much overload of information and you kind of have to pick and choose
Yeah.
what aligns with your life and that.
I think that
Yeah.
also gives people lots of hope though, too, because you can feel stuck and you can feel you know, defeated in
Hmm.
motherhood, but look to those social media outlets and kind of like, see the good that can come, especially for the people who talk about like real things like, hey, I've been where you're at and I'm here now. Not those people who post, we're happy every day, all the
Uh-huh.
time. It's
Yeah.
such a joy here. Because if that's what you think motherhood is, then
No, we watch a lot of those Utah mom documentaries now where they end up killing people and whatever else because they're happy all the time on social
oh my
media.
God.
And then all of a sudden they've cracked and then you find out, oh, they've been locking their kids up in the basement this whole time. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is why we don't look at social media for, achieving that.
Yeah, we don't want to achieve that. That's not a vibe.
No, no, not at all. But yeah, I feel like there's just been so many different aspects to each of my journeys with each of my kids. I mean, my oldest is 14 this year, and then we have gonna be a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. So the 2 years between the first two, they were kind of raised together, I feel like. And then with the youngest one, I mean, the other two were a little bit older. I mean, they're still young, right? When you look back on it, they were still really young. But like when I was in the midst of it, it was like there's the baby and then the older two. And
Right.
that's always how it's described. She's still the baby. She will
Hmm.
always be the baby. I'm
Always.
assuming she will always be the baby.
She will.
And
My
then,
sister is 19. She's
yeah,
the baby.
the baby. Yeah, for
She's the
sure.
baby.
Yeah. But I feel like, yeah, there was definitely differences in how they were raised. Like the youngest one, um, she was the one that like if I'm trying to like discipline or like say something or do something, if I give a stern look when I speak at her, waterworks. And she's a water baby, she's a water sign. So like they're very sensitive anyways.
Yeah.
But it was like the older two just kind of knew I raised my voice more with them. The younger one, I was in that stage of life where I didn't have to raise my voice anymore. And I
Yeah.
learned that, it wasn't something that was necessary. So when I did get frustrated and she could sense that I was getting frustrated, she would instantly get emotional. And I'm like, okay. So I didn't even have to like yell at you. I didn't have to do anything. But at this point, like, you understand that you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, and
Yeah.
I'm getting frustrated and now you're getting upset, and now let's have this conversation.
Kids.
It's just such a huge journey with, yeah, it's such a journey with each of them, right? And like, I don't know, I'm big on, like how I said she's a water sign, like I'm big on zodiac signs, and I'm big on like figuring out what kind of things make them tick and what kind of things like they enjoy and love just based on their signs.
Right. I love that. So good.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we should dive into our questions?
Yes, I have some good questions here today.
Oh gosh. I'm always.
We always try to do like this lightning speed round kind of thing of questions at the end of each episode if we have time to do it. And this one is about basically working moms reclaiming their identity because I feel like that's us.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we'll do the back and forth thing. Okay, number one, what is one thing you've done for yourself this week?
Oh, I went to yoga. I'm like in my yoga era.
I love that.
You guys, I never thought I would be a yogi. Okay. Ever in my
Yeah.
life. I am a cardio junkie, love it. But I've been doing yoga since I had my son. I started with baby yoga with him, and it was literally just a means to get out of the house. And I've really just honestly fallen in love with it. Like sometimes that slow vibe, like a calm class, is like just what I need. Cause like I run 1,000 miles an hour in my brain every day, right? With just all of the things all of the time. So I feel like it like really grounds me, really centers me. So yeah, I did yoga this week.
Do
Yeah.
you think you would teach it ever? Like, do you think you'd get your instructor?
I've definitely thought about it a
Mm.
lot, but it's like, then I think, Krystal, are we gonna put another thing on our plate? Like maybe in like 5 years or something.
Yeah, when
You
it's
know,
meant to be, it'll still
when
be
it's
there
meant
waiting
to
for you.
be, yeah, exactly. I think I've really dived into the practice um a lot recently, and yeah, I'm just kind of enjoying it right now. So I do think about it because the place that I go, Nook Berry, little shout out, they always have teacher training courses. So it's always kind of like there in my mind, but it's not something I'm looking into right now. No.
Okay. Maybe it'll align and we'll do it together because it's also something that I want to do, but in
Yeah.
Bali.
Oh, yeah. They just went to Portugal actually
Oh, I love that.
as a group, which was yeah, that would have been really cool.
Yes.
But Bali for sure. Sign me up.
Right?
Who do I sign?
Yeah. Okay. What is one thing I've done for myself?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we're doing online high school credits in the summer right now, so that's not for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Not a vibe.
oh, I went to Cacao 70 in Barrie and Park
Okay.
Place.
Never
It's
heard of it. Why have I
so
not heard of it?
so this is chocolate, everything, and $6 for Nutella toast. I don't recommend that one. However, they have like the strawberry Dubai chocolate cups.
Okay.
I'm not loving I think it's like I probably gonna screw this up royally, califer or something like that. Hold on. Anyways, that part I didn't love, so I would probably get it without that next time, and that's fine.
Okay.
But while I was there, like the owner was really nice. He brought out like free ice cream for the kids while we sat and waited. And then
Amazing.
he made me like a little espresso cup of hot chocolate, and it was probably the best hot chocolate I've ever had. So he knew what he was doing with that.
Okay. What is it called again?
Cacao 70. It's
Cacao.
across from where the booster juice is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Amazing.
Yeah. So that was for me. I spent a little bit and I splurged on a chocolate
Absolutely.
strawberry cup. Felt good.
And you got something free out of it. So
Yes, 100%. Okay, what's your personal power word right now?
my personal power word right now. What's yours? You go first.
Um, unfuckwithable. I feel like that's always my power word. I feel like I want to tattoo that down my ankle.
I love it. I love it. I'm not really sure. I feel like maybe just like I don't really have a word and maybe just like a sentence, like keep moving forward.
That's beautiful. I like
Yeah.
that.
I think that's what I'll go with.
Okay. Heels, sneakers, or barefoot?
Oh my God. Barefoot baby.
That's so
For
funny.
sure.
I love that for you. My kids were asking yesterday, they're like, how come dad can walk the dog in the forest with no shoes or socks on and not get hurt? And I was like, uh, calluses.
Yeah, really. Oh God. That's funny. No, yeah, definitely not a heels girl. Used to
No.
be,
Yeah.
can't do it. My feet
Yeah.
don't like me.
I love a good sneaker. I'm barefoot more because it's summer and grounding, and I try to get out there more with my bare feet to the grass, but
Of
I'm
course.
sneakers for sure. Um, coffee, tea, or silence?
Coffee
Yeah, coffee.
every day, all
Yeah.
day.
Give it to me hot, give it to me ice, still take it,
Yeah,
however.
don't care. No
What
preference.
part of your identity do you feel like you're currently rediscovering?
Oh my goodness. You'll go first on that one.
Um, I think this whole year so far has been about me rediscovering my boundaries. Like,
Mm,
as much as I always thought, like the past couple of years, I thought that I was healing and doing better
right,
and having boundaries. I really stood behind myself this year and said that if I'm gonna speak it, I better act it as well, right? Like you can't just say I'm gonna have boundaries and then not have boundaries.
right.
So I'm very big on that. I love that I'm making decisions that I don't want to piss people off, but I'm pissing people off with my decisions. And I feel like that just means that I'm really doing it for myself. And
Yeah.
I mean,
At
I
the end
think
of the
there's
day,
no,
if you still feel good,
yeah,
then
yeah, there's no fault in that. And the people that are meant to be around me and love me will love and support me through all of
yeah,
these decisions that I'm making.
absolutely. I think for me, it's just more about um the slowdown and just I feel like I just live so much in a constant state of stress and I don't want to live there anymore. I just
Meditation
wanna
is huge. So like you're saying yoga, that's
yeah,
the
and
right time.
I think that's what's really drawn me in about it and why I really enjoy it because even if it's only for an hour that day, that's
That's
an
huge.
hour that I am not thinking about my endless to-do list, not thinking about all the things. So I think that that's really kind of just like where I'm at right now. It's just like reminding myself to just slow down.
That's huge. Yeah. What is your guilty pleasure that you no longer feel guilty about?
Trash TV always. Trash TV always.
What are you currently watching?
Well, I just finished like the mom talk,
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah.
And I always watch the Kardashians. Guilty as charged.
Yeah, I love lunch. I don't love them as I'm learning more about the industry and stuff, but I love that show no matter what.
I know,
I just
always.
finished season 3 of Ginny and Georgia. I don't know if you've watched that one.
No, I haven't, but I hear good
Oh,
things.
so good. And then we just started. So in the summertime, we always listen to kid podcasts. There's like so many like fun story podcasts that the kids learn from one of their teachers. And last summer, I think we went through as many as we could. this year is about, because they're older now, so audiobooks. So
Right.
we tried getting into, there's like the one and only Ive and the one and only Bob. It's about like animals and a circus, I think. Anyways,
Okay.
I couldn't do the audiobook. Gosh, it was so boring to listen to. So so we started The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay. Yeah. I watched a little bit of that show.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So the book so far we're actually like into, and like I'm like, okay, I got, like, I'm trying to listen to this. Hang on, hang on. So we're like really into it as we're driving, which is great for like peace in the car also, because we're all
Yeah.
into what it's saying. There is some like probably not for the 7-year-old, but also
Right.
she's around the older kids. She learns a lot faster than the other people would have. But so we came home last night and I was like, hey, do you guys want to watch an episode? Yes. So now it's like, can we watch another episode? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to like surpass the book. So we're
Yeah.
gonna try
No.
to like
Yeah.
listen to the book and then watch a couple episodes and go back to the book kind of thing, back and forth. Loving that.
Cool. That's awesome. I love that.
Okay. One belief about motherhood you've let go of.
That you can do it all.
Mm,
'Cause I can't.
preach. Nope.
I
There's
need
not enough
help.
not enough time in the day, people in the world.
Yeah. I hope you've let go of that. That you can do it all. You
Um,
did say that a couple of times. I can do it all.
I can do it all.
You know?
Myself, I can do it all myself too, right?
Right.
Good
Yeah,
God.
that's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it all yourself. Absolutely
No.
not.
There's definitely a cutoff time for me now, I feel like.
Yeah. I'm done.
There's like I have so many things going on. Like we've both said, it's been chaos and whatever
Yeah.
this past little bit, and 100%. And you definitely cannot do it all, and that is what it is. But I trust the universe so much. So whatever's going on in my day-to-day life, I I know that like I'm not going to fail anybody. And if somebody decides like, okay, you're no longer meant for me, again, I'm so
Right.
okay with it at this point in my life that
Yeah.
I don't completely stress out. I still do all the things that I have to do, like I still lead with my intuition and stuff like that. I still do the things that I feel like I need to hold a good business,
Right.
but at the same time, I can't control how other
Yeah.
people respond to things that I'm going through during the times.
True.
Um, okay, what's your I'm still me outfit?
I feel like when I put on like a dress,
Okay, like a sundress.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. I think
that's
for me
cute.
it's like when I get to like dress up, feel my feminine energy, I feel like
Yeah,
that brings me back to like, yeah,
still
I still
me.
got it.
Yeah, I love that.
You?
I'm very basic. For me, it's like jeans and like a jersey.
Okay, yeah.
And it's funny because I did a quiz with the kids the other day, like a Snapchat quiz, and they were like, it was like, "What's your like your style, your outfit style, or whatever?" And I put like clean girl because I feel like that's who I would like to be. And they both were like the older two were so disappointed in me. They were like, "That's not you. You're like streetwear. You wear like streetwear clothing." And I'm like, I think about like hip hop girls when I think of streetwear. That's not me.
Yeah,
And then they brought me back to my roots, and I was like, okay, I guess
I get it.
technically it is streetwear because if that's still me. Text, voice note, or FaceTime?
Oh my God, never a voice note. Never. Never. Hate them.
Oh gosh.
Text for sure.
Yeah.
Don't mind a FaceTime
Yeah.
if I'm in the right
If
vibe.
needed. Yeah,
If
yeah, yeah.
yeah, depending on who it is and the
Yeah.
conversation we're having. But yeah,
Yeah. I'm definitely a texting girl. I think that's just like the generation we grew up in. Texting is
absolutely.
easy. FaceTime for intimate conversations or like far away people that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Voice notes, I'm okay with responding to voice notes. If somebody would like messages me with a voice note, I will respond in a voice note. They're freaking long though.
Yeah.
We're gonna run out of time because that's just always where we're at.
Always. I love
And
it
this
though.
was a
This was
great
so good.
conversation. Yes. All right, you guys, join us on our next episode.
Yay. See you then. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Mother Overload podcast. This is a real talk space where two moms come together to unpack the beautiful chaos of motherhood. We're not experts. We're in it with you. This is a space for overwhelmed, overcaffeinated, heart wide open moms who need to know they're not alone.